What do ghostwriters do? I'm Pat Iyer. How would you like to enjoy the rewards of being an author without doing the writing? Hiring a ghostwriter might be the right solution for you. I'm often asked about what I do as a ghostwriter. When I fill this role, I don't look at an existing manuscript and recommend or make changes. That's the copy editor or the proofreader's role. A ghostwriter is a writer who publishes under somebody else's name with the consent of both parties. What I do is work with an author to plan and develop and write their book. A good ghostwriter knows exactly how to elicit the information from you that will create an interesting and perhaps even a compelling book. Ghostwriters typically write books, but they also can write articles, blogs, websites, or marketing copy. Some of the people who hire ghostwriters don't consider themselves competent to write a book or other types of written material, and others are busy professionals who don't have the time to sit down and write a book. For example, one of my clients is a person in the same field in which I built a business for 28 years. She hires me to write 4 blogs a month for her, which she shares with her clients. Ghostwriters also write ebooks. When you outsource your ebook to a ghostwriter, you're giving them the job of creating the words in your ebook in exchange for a fee. You still get to put your own name on that finished product. Ultimately, you own the copyright and you can sell the ebook as many times as you like. It sounds like a pretty nice arrangement. It's all completely legal and commonly done. Just because a ghostwriter does the writing doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be the credited author. You'll be the originator of the idea and provide direction to the ghostwriter so that the written material reflects what you want it to say. If you choose to work with a ghostwriter, you're in good company. People may feel that it's cheating to hire a ghostwriter. Many well-respected people work with them. A good example of a competent writer who hired a ghostwriter is Hillary Clinton. You'll find Stephen Covey, Beyonce, Lance Armstrong, and other celebrities who have written with ghostwriters. For example, Greg Williams hired me and we worked together to create 2 books. Greg is a skilled negotiator who works with individuals and companies to help them achieve the best outcomes from a negotiation. After Greg wrote a book proposal for a text on negotiation and body language, he hired me to work with him as his ghostwriter. Here's what we did. Greg and I reviewed and revised the table of contents. Using the questions he prepared, I interviewed him and recorded those conversations. When I received the transcripts, I shaped the content into chapters. This involved taking out the casual conversation, rearranging content, and adding examples and stories. For each 90-minute call, I spent 8 to 12 to 16 hours refining the transcripts to turn them into chapters. Using this format, we wrote his book, Body Language Secrets, to win more negotiations. The publisher contacted him a year later and requested a second book, Negotiating with a Bully, which we collaborated on again. Sometimes ghostwriters get the credit on the cover or in the acknowledgments of the book. The credit may be given in the form of as told to, or edited by, or with. My books with Greg acknowledge me on the cover as Greg Williams with Pat Iyer. Sometimes more restrictive conditions apply. The ghostwriter may have to sign a non-disclosure agreement that prohibits them from revealing their involvement or how much they were paid to write a book. This veil of secrecy makes it difficult to know how many books are ghostwritten. It's estimated up to 60% of the books on the nonfiction bestseller lists are ghostwritten. A ghostwriter gets every piece of information that goes into the manuscript from you or your associates or research. You may be talking about your personal history, or how you developed a business process. No one but you can provide this information. You also have to approve the manuscript at various stages. If you're still uncertain, think of this as a collaboration, which is true. How does a ghostwriter write the book? Ghostwriters are expert at identifying the elements that make a good story. I often hear authors wonder if a ghostwriter can keep their voice. You might also be nervous the book isn't going to sound like you. This underlines the importance of choosing a ghostwriter who's not only talented and empathetic, but also has a good ear. You may know people who pick up the rudiments of new language right away. A ghostwriter picks up your way of expressing yourself in the same way. Much of this time, the work will consist of phone interviews. She'll make note of key phrases you use in speech, whether you speak in long or short sentences, and other characteristic features. She can use a writing style and language that is appropriate for the book. Should it be in first person? Or perhaps it should be in third person, like many reference books? Should it be written from a female perspective or a male perspective? Ghostwriters can accommodate your preferences and will want to know those desires. Ghostwriters may do research as part of writing that book. You can hire a ghostwriter to research your topic fully on the internet or elsewhere. They can then translate you or their research into organized sections and create conversational paragraphs for you. They can interview people that you designate, or they can seek them out for the book. The ghostwriter can separate the book-worthy material from the non-book-worthy material for inclusion with an eye on what the readers are interested in and what you've hired them to write about. In other words, good ghostwriters will stay on the topic as they write and not veer off into irrelevant stories. It's actually an art form in itself to be able to insert quips and images that are designed to hold the reader's interest while quickly and smoothly getting back on track to deliver the information promised by the title and table of contents. Speaking of the table of contents, an experienced ghostwriter can review rough notes from you and propose a title and table of contents. Ghostwriters can start from notes, organize the material into an outline, generate a table of contents, research and add filling text, make boring information flow like an entertaining conversation, and more. They can basically start with whatever you've got to start with and get you from there to a completed book. A ghostwriter asks the right questions. Some of the questions could be, how do you envision your book? What attracts you about this kind of book? Have you begun your book? When would you like to see the book in print? Why are you considering hiring a ghostwriter? What are your publishing plans? Are they traditional? If so, what kind of business press or a more general publisher do you have in mind? Do you prefer to independently publish? Who do you see as your audience? Why will your book appeal to them? What's the message you'd like to give to the world and why? You can sit back while your book is being written. Ghostwriters are invaluable resources. Time is money, and you want to spend your time elsewhere, such as marketing, thinking of new ideas, or relaxing on the beach. Ghostwriting is definitely the way to go for you. The general advantages are that you are outsourcing the actual writing of the book. It's commonly done, it's legal, and writers are available to provide that type of service. And you can direct your energy somewhere else while the book is being written. In the end, you'll still own the written words, and you can do whatever you want with them. Indeed, you can even edit them and revise them yourself. Is it worth the investment in a ghostwriter? My colleague Greg Williams would tell you yes. He said, as a result of Pat ghostwriting my last 2 books, a mainstream publisher published my books. They garnered worldwide attention to my talents as a master negotiator and body language expert, and I was identified as one of the top 30 body language gurus in the world by global gurus. Now that's a great return on investment. If you'd like to speak with me about ghostwriting your next project, reach me through my contact form on patiyer.com. And if you want to see Greg Williams' podcast, go to my YouTube channel at patiyer.com or look at my website at patiyer.com. And you'll find his podcast is number 19.